Hello and welcome to The Forum, the show about what's happening at Monroe County Community College. I'm your host, Megan Kane, editor of The Agora, which is the student newspaper at MCCC. For this episode of The Forum, we will be featuring Marie Seaver, who is the co-chair of the Psychology Interest Group, which is also known as PIG. Hi Marie, it's great to have you here today.
It's great to be here, Megan.
So I have just a few questions about you and PIG.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so how long have you been at MCCC and what are you studying?
It's a bit of a difficult question. I'm technically a middle college student, so my first community college class was when I was 16, my second semester of my sophomore year. So I guess this is my 6th or 7th semester there.
Wow.
And I'm currently on track to do an Associates of Science Pre-Psychology at the community college.
Cool. So then what are your future plans for after community?
After community, I plan to attend Tiffin University for forensic psychology. It's a smaller school in Ohio.
So you mentioned that you're interested in forensic psychology. Can you explain a little more about what that is?
Yeah, I would say the easiest definition is it's the application of psychology to the law and the criminal justice system. So things like doing evaluations to see if people are fit for trial and just kind of looking at how we can use psychology to lower certain crime rates and certain things like that. So it's just applying it to that system.
Do you know specifically what you want to do, like with your career?
I'm definitely looking at the legal side of it, doing maybe advocating on people's behalf, doing the evaluations and things like that. Just kind of being a voice for the people that might not have it.
Cool. So can you tell me a little bit about what PIG is about?
Yeah, so PIG, or Psychology Interest Group, is it's a way to explore an interest in psychology outside of the classroom in kind of a more social setting. So anyone taking classes can join, and it's very informal. We have meetings about every other week. And we just it's very student-led. We have advisors, obviously, but it's very student-led, so it's kind of whatever like my fellow co-chair Haley and I and the other members want to do, which is a lot of fun because we get to take the initiative on it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I hear that PIG is back from a 3-year hiatus. Who helped to bring it back?
Honestly, I think the consistent membership brought it back. My co-chair Haley and I and our treasurer Macy have been really consistent, and our recorder Jamie. Those have been our most consistent memberships. And then we've had some here and there, but I would definitely say just the consistent membership from the 4 of us. We have a lot of drive for the club, so it's really nice to work with the team that wants to get things done.
Nice. And then I heard you say that you had advisors. Can you tell me who they are?
Yeah, so it's Professor Patrick Wise and Professor Melissa Gray. They're really great. They do a lot of the behind-the-scenes work for us, and it's really nice.
Yeah, they're very involved at the school from what I've heard. So then what has it been like after reviving the club, and have there been any notable hardships bringing it back?
I wouldn't say there have really been any hardships. We haven't really had any big blocks or anything. It's been pretty easy. Like I said, we have a lot of people willing to show up, so I think that has kept it consistent. And I didn't know what the club was like before, so I can't necessarily speak on that, but it's been pretty smooth sailing these past 2 semesters.
Good, good. And then can you explain what your role is as co-chair and what kind of responsibilities you have?
Yeah, so we have co-chairs instead of a president. That way we can kind of balance the responsibilities. So we're like presidents. We kind of bring up ideas. We do a lot of, like work that needs to be done outside of the club. So contacting people or like crunching numbers because we did a recent survey. So kind of figuring that stuff out. Just more of the grunt work, I guess.
Right.
And just kind of showing up to meetings, but it's something that I love, so I don't mind it at all.
Good. And then does PIG have any upcoming events?
We don't have any upcoming events, but we are working on our April monthly encouragement initiative. So that plans to be kind of like a mental health resource flyer. For the community college students, since May is Mental Health Month, we have to do it in April because we obviously don't have classes in May.
Right.
So that's one of our current projects. And what else did we discuss? I just came from a meeting, so it's fresh on the brain. I guess our current project is getting T-shirts for the club, but that's not necessarily campus-wide. So I think our biggest project right now is the April initiative. And oh my goodness, we're doing a Women in Psychology board outside. We took over the One Book, One Community area that was moved to C Building. So we're doing a little feature for women in psychology for the end of Women's History Month.
That's cool. So then how can a student who's interested in joining the group go about doing that?
You could contact Professor Wise or Professor Gray, or we meet every other Thursday from 12:30 to 1:30 in L142. And sometimes we have meetings outside of those, so we'll have, our next meeting will be in 2 weeks. So I believe it's April 9th or something about that. 2 weeks from the 30th.
Okay. So that's all that I had. That's all that we have time for today. It's been great having you here, Marie.
Thank you for having me.
We hope to see more of your group.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us today. Tune in next time to see another episode of The Forum.